2016 AP Calculus AB number 5. Okay, look at the picture, realize what's going on. Clearly there's a funnel here. You have a height, you have a radius. This looks circular. Let's read. The inside of a funnel of height 10 inches, the entire height is 10 inches, has circular cross sections as shown in the figure above. So those indeed are circles. At height h, the radius of the funnel is given by this function. So the radius changes based on the height, and this is the equation that determines what the radius is. Okay? H is from 0 to 10. Makes sense. The units of R and H are inches. That'll come in handy later. Part A. Find the average value of the radius. Okay, the average value of a function is the width of the interval, leave that minus 0 off if you like, multiplied by the integral of the function itself. And the function we're dealing with is 1 over 20, and then 3 plus h squared dh. This is the radius accumulated from 1 to 10, and then we divide that by 10, and it'll tell us our average radius. I'll say that one more time. This is the radius accumulated from 1 to 10, and then divide by 10, and we'll have the actual radius. Okay, so we're going to figure this out, and we're going to do it by hand, and let's just go ahead and skip a couple steps because I think we can. 1 over 20 can factor out, and we'll have 1 over 10 times 1 over 20, and that's going to give us 1 over 200. So 1/200th is in the front, and then we'll have 0 to 10, and then 3 plus h squared dh, not dx, almost wrote dx, and then 1 over 200. Antiderivative of 3 is 3h. Antiderivative of h squared is h cubed. Divide that by 3, so 1/3 of that. And I almost wrote dh, but it's not. It's a vertical line from 0 to 10. Okay, no sense in plugging in a 0. When you plug in a 0 here, you're going to end up with 0 in that anyway. So we're going to have 1 over 200, and then 3 times 10 plus 10 cubed over 3, and then minus 0. You can put the minus 0 if you want to. The answer key does have that. I'm going to leave it off because it just goes away anyway. So equals 1 over 200 times 30 plus 1,000 over 3. And we can get a common denominator here. That gives me 90 over 3. So that's going to give me 1 over 200 times 90 over 3, so 1,090 over 3. That does not reduce. And that's going to give me 1,090 over 600. And I am going to put the actual inches. Here we go, 109 over 60 inches. That is the average radius, 109 over 60. So, yeah, almost 1.5 if you wanted to divide that out. Okay, where can you stop? You could stop here. Totally stop there. I just wanted to keep on going. Okay, that was part A. Here we go. Part B. Find the volume of the funnel. Okay, so the volume is going to be the accumulation of the area as we move up. Area of what? Area of all of these circles. So we're going to accumulate a lot of circles as we move from, oh, let's switch colors just for fun. Let's go purple. As we move from 0 to 10, we're going to accumulate lots of areas of circles, and the area of a circle is pi times the radius squared, and the radius is a function of h. And this right here, this, I said that with an awkward drawl in my voice, didn't I? That right there is the radius. So we're going to have to find this and find it by hand, and it is not going to be that bad. It's actually pretty straightforward, and it's going to be a ridiculous answer with pi in it, of course, but it works. So here goes. First of all, let's square the 1 over 20, and that makes it 1 over 400, and you can just factor that out. Do you have to do that first? No, but I like to. So 20 squared is 400. That gives us 400 in the denominator. It is outside. 0 to 10, and then we're going to have 3 plus h squared squared. Now you could use, I was about to say you can use u substitution. You can't here. We have no choice but to really FOIL this out. So let's do that. So pi over 400, almost used u substitution wrong. 9 plus 6h squared plus h to the 4th dh, that's what we're dealing with. And we're going to keep on going with that. So we have pi over 400. And then antiderivative of 9 is 9h. Antiderivative of 6h squared is h cubed, but that'd be a 2 in the front there. And antiderivative of h to the 4th is h to the 5th. Divide that by 5. And we have antiderivatized. We're going to go from 0 to 10. Plugging in a 0 into this polynomial will basically just give us 0, so that changes nothing. So we're just going to keep on moving. Pi over 400, we have to do this by hand. Don't stop here, okay? 9 times 10, so 90. And then 2 times 10 cubed. 10 cubed is 1,000, so we have 2,000. And now we can really get lost in the zeros here. It's kind of easy to do, so let's be careful. 10 to the 5th is 10,000 over 5, so just so I don't do too many steps at once, let's do that. Don't lose track of your zeros. I'm going to put a comma in that just so I can keep my place. There we go. And again, subtract 0 going into all those changes nothing. Okay, let's write another step. Pi over 400. And I'm going to write a step that you can skip if you want to. 90, 2,000. And 10,000 divided by 5 is 20,000. There we go. Another comma there just because I feel like it. And so what I really have is 22,090. 22,090 over 400 and a pi. Put the pi on the top, put the pi on the side, it doesn't matter. And this can reduce. Again, you could have stopped here. I'm not. So 2209 pi over 40. And they said find the volume of the funnel. And they did not ask for units, but I'm going to put them anyway. So this is in inches cubed because it's volume. Okay, part C is much easier than it sounds at first. So let's read it very carefully and write down some stuff that we know. The funnel contains liquid that's draining from the bottom. Okay, so it's losing its volume. At the instant when the height of the liquid is h equals 3 inches, the radius of the surface of the liquid is decreasing at a rate of 1/5 inch per second. All of a sudden, I'm triggered, not in a bad way, but I'm triggered to start listing everything I know. And then when I start listing everything I know, I'm realizing, as I keep reading, at this instant, what is the rate of change of the height of the liquid? These are related rates. These rates are, well, related. They gave me one rate, they gave me some other information, they're asking for another rate. So let's switch colors. Who wants green? Me. And let's find what they're asking for. Reading the problem again, they said that h equals 3. They also said the radius of the surface of the liquid. Now, when I read surface of the liquid, I was like, oh, the surface of the liquid is circular. Yeah, it is, but the radius is decreasing at a rate. They gave us dr dt, and that is decreasing at 1/5 inch per second. I'm going to put the units over here. This is inches. And at this instant, what is the rate of change of the height of the liquid with respect to time? So we're going to find out what dh dt is. So what we really need to do is just come over here on the side with the green pen, of course, and write the formula they gave us, 1/20, and then 3 plus h squared. And we need to take the derivative of that. So let's take the derivative of that. And one more step I'm going to do, just because if you're looking at that, you're like, oh, product rule? No, it's just a constant. So I feel like doing this. Do I have to? No, but I want to, so I did. There we go. It helps, it's fun. So we're going to take the derivative. So dr dt equals, that term is gone, and this is 2/20, so 1/10 h dh dt. And now we're just going to solve for dh dt with the information they gave us. So negative 1/5 equals 1/10 times 3 dh dt. We will multiply by 10, divide by 3, and we found it. I'm going to go one more step because, you know, obvious, and you can stop here if you want to, but I am going to solve a little further. So the rate of change of the height with respect to time is negative 2/3, and they did not ask for units, but I'm going to put them anyway. This is inches per second. Okay, let's grade our paper. Let's see what we got. Part A, there are 3 points you can earn in Part A: the integral, the antiderivative, and the answer. So here goes. Part A, the integral set up correctly. Dun, 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 dun. The antiderivative, which was 3h plus h cubed over 3, correct. And the answer, 109 over 60, correct. Yes, all 3 points earned. All right, part B, the integrand, which would be all this stuff right here. All this. Did you set up all this? Did you square it? Did your parentheses in the right place? Yes. The antiderivative, which is not that. Oops. Yeah, it's that. Looking at the antiderivative, including the pi over 400. Now, if you had the pi over 400 in here, it's going to complicate things, but it's not necessarily wrong. And then the final answer, which was this. And that one's correct. And part C, you got 2 points for this. The chain rule. Chain rule? What do you mean chain rule? When you took the derivative from here to here with respect to time, technically, the reason that this popped up and this popped up was because of the chain rule. So 2 points earned here, and then the final answer, negative 2/3 inches per second, is your other point.